Hello.
Hello.
How are you going?
Yeah, not too bad.
Nice. I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah, it's good weather.
It's a bit windy though.
Windy.
Windy. It's
All
good.
right. So, where are we today?
We're in Diamond Creek. We
You know
actually
why they call it that? Diamond Creek?
because there's a creek. Yeah.
Yeah, why
And
specifically?
it's named Diamond.
It's actually
I-
a pretty funny story.
Is there? Do you know the story?
Well, I looked it up.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Is it shaped like a diamond or something?
So apparently that was like a bull with the diamond-shaped thing on its head.
A bull.
Yeah,
Okay.
like a white patch of diamond, and then he was trying to cross the
Oh,
creek.
that's
And I think he
cute.
died.
Dude, that
And-
magpie's looking straight at me. That's scary.
It's
Let's
a
not make
thick
eye contact.
magpie.
That's dangerous.
Yeah,
We're all
it's-
gonna start beefing now.
And then I don't know if they actually have diamonds here, or like they found diamonds.
I don't know. That's another story.
And it's also like because the water sparkles like diamonds.
Oh,
That's nice.
okay.
Yeah, I do my research. You know.
You did your research.
Either
I didn't,
form.
obviously.
Yeah, even though
Well,
you've been.
theory can only get you so far.
Yeah.
Famously.
Oh, wow. That's why we're outside.
But no, I've been here a few times.
Yeah.
But still, we still got lost, which is good. But we were with a guest, first guest of season 2.
Hell yeah.
Do you want
Oh,
to introduce
I did not know
her?
that.
Yeah. So we're with Sherine. Oh.
Did you forget the
I
name?
forgot. We're with Sherine, really good friend of mine, and soon to be really good friend of Dumas.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah, and then
Wait, do you wanna-
Yeah.
Should we walk and talk?
Yeah, we should.
No,
we should get
we're in a
out of
park at the moment, so we need to get out.
it.
But wait, so how'd you meet Sherine? I actually don't know this story.
How did we meet? I think. We met through a friend. So,
Oh yeah, like how?
friend of a friend.
Friend of a friend.
Friend of a friend.
You still friends with that
Oh,
first
yeah,
friend?
Yeah.
Okay.
Too close, I think.
Wait, Simba.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Shout
cool.
out Simba.
Shout out Simba. We love
Yeah,
Simba.
there you go.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's interesting, like, new friends, old friends,
True.
get it together, It's,
Yeah, 100%. Wait, no, I'm keen to hear first impressions of Dulana.
Very wholesome, I think.
there you go.
Yeah. Just
The
good
I guess,
research
vibes
that's why they call it
around.
first impressions.
Vibes like that.
that's why they call it impressions.
Oh,
Reminded
Yeah.
me a lot of one of my closest friends. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, lots
Fair.
of parallels there.
And
There you
first
go.
impressions of Sherine? Ooh.
Nah, I'm just trying to remember. Dude. I'm not very good at first impressions.
Been a
They're like
minute.
very, they're like null thoughts.
Yeah, they,
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
they are impressions.
No, she was very nice, very kind. She still is. So
She was.
she still is.
Till she died.
Oh, look, a bunny. Look.
Oh, yeah, right.
Bunny.
Yeah, yeah, we're right there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool, awesome.
And then we don't have to talk about first impressions of each other. I think that's
No, I can't remember because you have an impression of me that I can't remember. So
you have an impression of me that doesn't exist. So
that's true. Wow.
Okay.
Okay. But how long have you known Sherine for?
Ooh, probably like 3.
Oh,
3
okay.
years. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
gonna be a
nearly
friend
3 years.
anniversary soon.
Oh.
Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, I thought for longer for some reason. Because you've known Simba for a fair bit of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah.
yeah.
No, fair. I've known you for 2 hours now. Yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, that's kind of cool actually. We're going past another little, I don't know what it is, a pond.
Yeah.
Looking for the diamonds Dilly was talking
The
about.
diamond, the
Diamonds,
diamond.
looking for the diamonds.
Looking for the diamonds.
So it's like part of the creek.
That
I
could be
guess.
the name of the episode.
What?
Some diamond related
Some diamond related.
thing. I don't know. We'll
Diamonds in the rough.
Diamond-
Diamonds in the rough,
oh!
like friends.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah, which
But
kind of brings us to
the theme of the
Yeah.
podcast, the episode, which is friendship. But it's good. We're with old friends and new friends. I've known you for
too long.
I don't know how long. 10, 15 years.
Yeah, probably coming up on more now.
Yeah, interesting.
That's a significant amount.
That's a significant amount. Too much time to spend with someone like him.
I've known you for more than half of my life, which
Yeah.
is interesting.
We've known like all the versions of each other so far.
Yeah,
I guess so. Yeah, most of them. Yeah,
We're still friends.
that's really interesting. I guess only your parents would know your entire all your versions, because even you wouldn't know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
yeah, you'd be too young to remember some of the different versions of yourself, but
Yeah.
your parents would definitely remember
Yeah,
everything.
exactly. So
Yeah.
it's almost like today's episode is mostly going to focus on not about friends. Like we're not going to talk about, oh, this is my friend, this is the other friend.
Yeah.
It's more about like kind of the weird phenomenon of finding friends and like the randomness of it, because there's no reason to it at all when you think about it, right? It's just some random person that you never know existed, and then 2 years later down the road you're like, so close to each other. So yeah, I mean, it's the same story. Like even with us, like I don't know if we started our friends. We probably didn't.
No.
And
I really like you, bro, at the start.
yeah, well,
Unresolved.
unresolved coming up. But yeah, it's definitely like an interesting thought when you get to the bottom of it. Like, how do you actually make friends, and like, why do we make friends?
Yep.
Um,
No, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think there's well, for me, like, I think it's being available.
yeah.
So, like, in a space. So, like, I know you said, like, Sherine, you went to Europe and you made these amazing friendships and connections. And I feel like I've had that this year without traveling. And it's I feel like when you're traveling, you're a bit more available,
Definitely
more open.
Yeah.
And I feel like that could be anywhere, like it could be today on the tram or the train, and you'd be more open. And that might not necessarily mean you're going to find a friend, right? But you're going to, oh, dog. But you're still going to,
Thanks, guys.
it's all right. Cyclists. Actually, you can ride this thing all the way to the city.
Oh yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Because if you follow the trail. When it's being available, I think, which just opens you up to new opportunities. And a friendship isn't defined by the length of time,
For sure.
right? Like if you met someone, you had a good connection for a tram ride, which was 30 minutes, you had a friend, I think. And it's kind of like, reminds you of like, it's a very morbid subject about children and their like death of children, but like their life is not less worth, or they're not less of a human for dying too young or not living up to this predefined potential of being a bit older. Like they still lived a full life as a child, right? Like I know it's totally different, but it kind of reminds me of that. Like a friendship or anything, it's not defined by the length of time. I don't think it needs to be. But yeah, sorry, that was just my rant about being available. So you're open to more friendships. Right?
Yeah. No, it's almost like the availability, like being available, but also like the availability of people towards us as well. Like it's such a
It needs to happen on
such a
both
low
sides.
effort kind of thing. Like yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and a lot of life is like doing less than more. Like being available is doing less of than more.
Yeah.
Because you're not projecting aversion or trying to control a certain situation. You're just being open, I think.
Just being, really.
Yeah.
I feel like one of the sayings I've been trying to live by is like, you haven't met all the people who you're meant to meet yet. And I think that really ties into that, the notion of being available, being open, like ready to welcome a new friendship or connection when it's there for you, because you never know like what it could bloom into. And I think approaching it with that kind of intention really allows something to flourish.
Yep.
So,
No, 100%. 100%. Do you know which way you're going? We can walk. Can we walk next to this train?
We can try.
We can try. We
Not
can just
die.
we can come
hey,
back
we're
around.
next to it, no, not on it.
We'll be fine. Yeah.
Yeah, we can do
But
that.
I think this is the one that has the steam rails.
There you go.
Oh,
So if we're
cool.
lucky, we'll see a steam.
Choo choo.
Yeah. We'll chuck a video on.
How nice is that?
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
We can try go down, have a look, come back up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Taking a little detour from the trail. All good. Okay.
Yeah.
No, definitely. Yeah. Like.
Yeah, it kind of like leads you to the, like even like right now, like we're just at some random place and it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Like again, the best things in life are free, right?
True.
And the best people in life are free as well. So
Word.
yeah,
The,
we're kind
the,
of like sticking onto this Taylor Swift theme.
this is a new theme. This is,
Unwanted,
it's
but
Rivers and Taylor Swift. Like,
like it's from like 1989, the New Romantics. But I mean, yeah, but like
oh, this is beautiful. What the
yeah, I
fuck?
mean, I didn't know this thing existed. Wow.
I can't go down because of my knee, but actually I will try. But no, I agree. But there is a flip side to that though, which I think is because it's free, you take it for granted.
100%, and that's something I'm learning now.
Yeah.
Like taking people and like the relationships I've had with people for granted. I think we touched on this
Yeah.
a bit on the first episode, but it's more like trying to like be a bit more unconditional
Yeah.
Seeing it as a
personally.
privilege.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And like I know like you talk about David White a lot, and like he's written this really nice collection of short proses.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
called Consolations.
Yeah, which,
The-
which you got for my birthday, and
yeah.
there's this nice little like passage about friends, and like long story short, even though it's a short story, it's like, you know,
Short story, even shorter.
yeah, it's like the touchdown is not the improvement of self, no others, when you're talking about friends,
Yeah.
but it's to be a witness. Oh, there you go. That's a train. And-
That's not the steam trail. Though.
That's not the same trail, but it is a
It
train.
is a train.
Yeah, so it's to be witness, and it is a privilege to
Yeah.
be a friend, I think.
Yeah, and it's privilege. Like I'm just paraphrasing the privilege to be seen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, and to give your side to someone else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a nice thought, really, when you think about it. It's something like, you know, you're not really like looking for what you are, I guess, at the end of the day, like looking to become a better person with them, but
Yeah.
like it's not, you're not using them to become like a more self-improved person, and nor are they.
You're just
And
using you're trying to be more of yourself. I think.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
we talked about this on the way, like here. We're just trying to be. Do you want to head back?
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to be more of you, and like I think having a good friend enables you and gives you space to be yourself.
100%.
You know, like when I'm with you, like Dylan, like Grip, I'm like, I'm sure there's more. I don't know. There's probably layers to it, but like I'm pretty close to who I am normally. Like when I'm by myself, even, you know, like I'm very close to that
I think
version.
for me it's more like that, and also I'm much closer to someone I like being as well.
I see.
Do you know what that means?
So, like,
it's not like
is that
Like,
self-love?
almost like mirroring. Or, like,
maybe it's
seeing,
almost like I
parts that you love about yourself.
yeah, like
reflected.
parts of my exactly right, like stuff I like about myself become more pronounced and intensified because of that relationship, I think.
That's
And
beautiful.
that's, I think it's a really good thing. So
I think that's a really good like outcome measure
yeah,
of a good friendship.
yeah.
Mm.
Thank fuck.
No, that's good. No, but again, I think it doesn't have to be
No,
this
exactly.
crazy long, 15-year friendship that we have. You know, it could. I've run into people for a day, and then they make me a better person. And make the good things come out of me for that amount of time, and there's a lasting effect. That like an afterglow, even after the friendship is gone. You know, and that could be for many reasons. It could be an end of a friendship for, like, you decide not to be friends for some reason.
Yeah.
But it could be, things like death, or things like you move cities, or whatever it
Yeah.
can be, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, it's there's so many stories as well that we can talk about.
Yeah, I want to hear. I mean, before that, I want to hear Sherine stories from like Europe.
Yeah. So we should get to that now.
Yeah, like how did that like? I know you had a good time there and like meeting new friends and making new friendships, and how did that come about?
I think being on holiday definitely puts you in a very different kind of mindset, especially because for some parts of the trip I was traveling alone.
Yeah.
So when you're traveling alone, I guess like it's really up to you what your experience is going to be shaped as.
Yeah.
You need to put yourself out there, and
Yeah.
I guess for me, like I really live by the principle of, like every person that you meet has something really good to offer.
Yeah.
You're blessed with the opportunity to meet someone with like a totally different like worldview, different truths, and I think the part of like the beauty of life is really being able to like embrace those differences and just learn more about the world. So yeah, luckily I was placed in like a really awesome tour group, just lots of people from different parts of the world coming together. And I don't know, like touching on the randomness of friendship, like there were a few people that I connected with where it just clicked, like we just had, like there were so many things in alignment, our interests were very similar, the things we value in life, the kind of experiences we want for each other, they just matched. And I feel like that's why I'm such a firm believer in the saying that goes like, you haven't met all the people you're meant to meet yet, because I wasn't expecting something like this. I didn't go in thinking like, oh, I'm gonna meet these like incredible people. I was just open to like embracing it, and just getting to know people on like a real vulnerable level, I guess. And
it's when you least expect it as well.
Definitely, which is what makes it all the more meaningful, I think. So it was really beautiful, because now I feel like I'm really blessed to say that, I'm able to just meet someone somewhere in the world now because of all those friendships that I've made. And I feel like, especially when people are traveling, like people who you meet, like they're intentional with wanting to meet you, like talk to you, like everyone's kind of in the same boat of putting themselves out there, which I think fosters like a pretty like deep connection just from that.
Definitely. I like what you said about meeting people with different truths. I actually haven't thought about that before, because it's truth assumes is a I don't know, like unchanging, like a single truth. But I guess you're saying there's multiple versions of it and different ways to look at the same truth, perhaps.
For sure.
Yeah,
it's based on like how you've grown up, your environment, the values instilled in you.
Definitely.
So it's definitely like multiple truths, and I think it's also important to hold space for each of those truths without like one taking away from the other.
Yeah.
So being compassionate from that perspective.
100%. And
how, like friends who you make very early in life, like how many do you actually keep, really? Like, there's this odd kind of,
I'm sure there's a science
with us.
behind it, no? Like, isn't there like you can only have like as a human, as a social animal, you can only have
like five, is it five important?
Like there's different levels, but there's like 100 people or like, I don't know, something like that. But again, like I think for me this year though, like I've been again open to like what you were saying, like the mode when you're traveling, like trying to travel through life, because I know you said you had parts of your Europe trip you were traveling alone, but that's life anyway, like you're always traveling alone.
True.
So like I feel like
you are who you have,
and then you can be that open person just all the time, and like trying to make friendships. And I feel like when Dylan, I've met so many new people this year, like just being that, like just being open and being like open to talk to new people. Dylan's distracted by ducks, bro. Like last time those ducks fucking chased me, because it's like springtime, they're like super bikes. That's right.
Should we go down this spot?
Yeah, it looks like a mountain biking situation.
Just going up the same way,
I was listening to a podcast the other day about friendship as well. And what this person said, that one of my closest friends always says, is that friendship is world building. So it's almost like taking your world and like their world and like coming together and like nurturing something. And I think that's a really beautiful way to look at friendship.
I think like a big part of our relationship, or like most others, like you're kind of thinking of these like interesting little scenarios in your head, and you're like you mentioned, another friend of mine is like, you sort of have a whole collection of stories that you've made up together, which is like, I think to me growing up, that was a big part. Like whoever I sort of connected with creatively, and like, in that perspective, that was a very deep connection for me.
Definitely. 100%. Like I was very skeptical. I could really remember, like even at the end of high school, I was like, because I've traveled, like I've moved a lot, like schools and countries. So like my friends I've never been in a school early enough to be like one of the old friends,
Yeah.
but always had to leave too early as well. Like I've always just like that person who just comes into
You're
school.
not the guy who stuck around, I guess.
No, and like like when I met you, I met like halfway through, right? Like
Yeah.
in year 6, and then I left as well.
You admitted it was year 6.
Well, yeah, I believe you. So Dylan has this theory of me meeting him doing gymnastics,
Yeah.
which I don't have any memory of. But
That was a core memory for Dilly.
yeah, I trust you. Trust me, Daddy. But I used to be very skeptical of that. This is so pretty.
Yeah.
So many flowers. Springtime's the best for walking. Like, minus the swooping though. Like I've been swooped by magpies so much. But no, where I was going with that is now I think friendship probably has to be the most important thing in life. Like,
It's definitely my lifeline.
I think
it's interesting. Like thinking about friendships has recently made me a bit emotional.
right, yeah.
I don't know why.
You said that.
Yeah.
I mean, you sent me a message.
Yeah. Like literally, and as I was typing it, I was like kind of tearing up.
Yeah, that's cute,
And
man.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Like, maybe there's something I'm like learning a bit because
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel grateful and not taking things for granted a bit more.
Hmm.
So maybe it has some sort of relationship with that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, that was really cute because I just been off my phone for a week and a bit,
Yeah.
and Dylan had wrote a letter to me, which is
Aw.
cute. I still think it was ChatGPT generated.
It's just so perfectly
I guess we'll
written.
never know.
He refuses the accusations, but no, that was really lovely to see, and like obviously, yeah, I think the longer the relationship, the deeper the relationship, the less you acknowledge it, you know. And the deepest, longest relationship is your parents, right? Like,
Yeah.
if you have a good relationship with your parents and you're still in touch, that's which I think all three of us are. We're very blessed in that sense, and that's the biggest friendship. But it is a transition,
it's
though.
a transition, and like I think we again touched on this on the first episode, where like I'm starting to learn to become a friend to my parents. Like
Yeah.
it's such an interesting concept.
And allowing them to be friends
yeah,
with you.
and
Yeah,
because like it's like they're gaining a friend as well, right?
yeah.
And they're at that age now where they're losing friends.
Yeah, like literally losing friends. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's interesting because like here's this fully grown, well, you know, adult that you didn't really think of as an adult,
Yeah.
and then now here they are like becoming a friend to you, and then that must be interesting in their aspect because the sort of follow through I've had with that, like the reciprocation
Yeah.
of them being friends with me as well is interesting. Like I can just call my dad now and then just talk about
Have a chat.
something I'm interested in,
That's nice, man.
like I'm talking to you about it,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is
No, I
the
mean
same
that's
for you, I guess.
no 100%. Like I spent like an hour yesterday talking about random stuff.
And that might not be even a parent, like for some of us, right? Could be like a grandparent, an adult that
I don't think
you've known for a while.
doesn't even need to be human though, right? Like
exactly.
like I'm not sure you got a dog if you wanna. I know like you say that like he's your best friend, so
No, definitely. I feel like one of the biggest signs of like unconditional love is my dog. Like he's always just so excited to see me, irrespective of how long I leave for. The energy is always there. And yeah, I think it's a really beautiful sign of just how unwavering love can be and friendship can be.
Yeah.
I appreciate
a dog is definitely a reminder of that.
that he brings.
Yeah.
I mean you got Ira.
Yeah, I got Iro, and like again, yeah, like when he shows affection, it just comes in loads, in bucket loads. So,
Yeah.
and I think he's a bit more affection than most cats. So it's not like a stereotypical like, cats are mean or whatever
Yeah.
scenario. But yeah, like that in itself is like it's like having a housemate who's like your best mate, and
Yeah.
like you're living with your best friend for
Yeah.
like every hour of your day.
Yeah.
Almost, when you're at home. So,
And that's it, man. Like I feel like for me, like, although I've like going with our social media, which is not
Yeah.
not. I mean, it sounds silly, like that's like a thing people do these days, but it wasn't hard at all because I'm living really good friends,
Yeah.
like my best mates. And like coming home and having a chat, like it doesn't feel lonely at
It's
all.
just
Like,
It just grounds you, right?
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like it's being available again, right?
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
back to that topic, like it's so easy, and it's so easy to open up and become sort of someone that they appreciate as well. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I think it's just seeing it less as a transaction.
yeah, exactly, right. And then I've sort of understood, or like these are my thoughts personally,
Yeah.
that there are different kinds of friends that I have. Like you have, like Sherine mentioned, the unconditional ones.
Yep.
You have the physical ones, like you're based purely on a physical relationship with them, or a spiritual one, like you always talk to them for guidance, for like whatever, like you're looking for a path forward with them. And then you have even like the intellectual ones, where like you can only go to them to talk about like
Things
something
to make
that
your brain tick.
like physics or whatever, right? Like whatever
Yeah,
you're
and that's
interested
so tricky because I realized that in high school
in.
where like I was just annoyed at one of my friends, and then I was talking to another friend in the same friend group about it, like, and then he was just like, it's not, you can't expect a complete person in all aspects serving you, right? Like, especially at that age, like everyone has these different things that they provide you, and you provide different things to different people.
And that's how it ends up being sustainable, right? Because
Yeah,
you
definitely.
have different people in your life for different things. And some people really excel and shine in different things, and that's what you want to go to them for, and vice versa for yourself, providing that kind of friendship to others.
True. And question, so do you feel like you're a different version of yourself with different people? Or do you feel like you're kind of the same person in different friend groups, like friendships?
I think that's something that I've kind of like learned to like grapple with, I guess, like reflecting on how friendships were for me in the past versus now. I think something that I really want to do for myself is to be able to like show up authentically in my friendships, and part of that is just like making sure that my inhibitions are down, like coming as I am, allowing myself to be vulnerable, so that I can welcome that level of openness and vulnerability with my friends as well. I'd say I think with the friendships that I pursue now, a really good like evaluation is how I feel in those friendships. When I'm hanging out with someone, like how do I feel after hanging out with them? Do I feel empowered? Do I feel like I've touched grass, like it's a good reset button, like everything's okay in the world? And I think like owing it to myself to show up as myself has allowed me to like measure that and like pursue like honest, gentle, and like understanding friendships.
Yeah, true. Wow, that was actually that was deep.
Like that question is, the answer I have is very theoretical. Like I don't even know myself if that's the truth, but to me it's more like layers. So like the people I'm with depends on, depending on who I'm with, it uncovers another layer of my personality or whatever, right?
I see.
And that might be true for a few people.
So
but
do
then,
you
like,
mean you're a bit guarded, or like?
Probably, yeah. Like a little onion,
Yeah, right. Yeah, it makes you cry.
Yeah. So like whoever like I'm with, it depends like who can get to the innermost layer. Wow. Cool.
1 second friendships.
Yeah, and it's I mean, but then like again, like I'm starting like the whole point about having different relationships with different people and like different types of friendships.
People
To
here
me,
for a reason or a
like
season.
I want to be, like Sherine said, try to become a bit more authentic with people as well. So maybe the layers thing is not really a good idea on my end. It's more like I want to be as authentic as I can with them, and not expect more from them. Like I want to be as I am, present myself as I am to them, sort of be unconditional in a way, not to an extent where like, I'm like going after them the whole time, but it's almost like, like present my best self, my most authentic self. And I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but I think that's sort of what I'm leaning towards, just through my journey of realization and like being more grateful.
Yeah, I think for me, at this point in time in life, is just, I think I'm pretty comfortable with myself at the moment, so that allows me to just be. So like, if a friendship happens, then it happens. If it doesn't matter, you know, like it's not something I'm striving for all the time, but I do put myself in positions where I meet people. For example, like if I know there's like, I don't know, some of my friends are meeting up, like I would try to go. And if there's new people, I want to go there, like, you know, because again, like you said, like you haven't met everyone you meant to meet in your life. Like just putting yourself out there and just being open and being yourself. I think that's all you really need. You need to do less, not more, for the best things in life.
I think friendships serve as like a really good check and balance as well. Because if I reflect on like my long-term friendships, like who I was like when I was 13 and who I am now is so different. And the friends that have stayed with me throughout that time have really seen like these different versions of me. They've understood me. They've like held space for me to grow into the person that I'm becoming. And I think it's beautiful, and it's like such a blessing to have people like that, because it just shows that, you know, they've been there through the difficult times and still like allowed you to just be. And I think that's like a really strong tenet of like a lifelong friendship.
Like it goes back to what David White was saying, being a witness, right?
Definitely.
And that's exactly what you described right there. Being witness, and it's almost a privilege to be witness to your self-improvement, regardless
just like,
of who we're with.
Like celebrating your friends' joys, but also like being there through the difficult times and allowing people to really like shine through like diamonds.
Yeah, like wow.
Wow, brought it back.
There we go.
Dang, that's a wrap. Fuck, that's good.
No, it's like, and then like being friendships, like a big part of friendship is also like your journey with yourself, as you mentioned, and like learning to become a friend to yourself.
Yeah, that's a big part.
And that is something I don't know, just kind of call myself out and say like I struggle with that a lot.
Being a friend to yourself.
Yeah. So
I feel like that's everyone's.
It's the biggest challenge, actually.
challenge.
And
but I think that's the best advice I've heard. Is just that, I mean, again, you guys both have pets. I don't, but like it's this. I don't know where this statistic's from, but drug adherence for pets is like nearly 100%. Like, so like, but drug adherence to like yourself, like when you're self-medicating, it's not. It's like 50% or something on average. Like, which is I mean, you might actually have the stats because you work in health, but which is interesting. It's this failure to look after yourself and treat yourself as someone you're responsible for, right? And the best advice I've heard is treat yourself like you're responsible for yourself, right? It's just, like if I'm looking after you, for example, and you're sick, I will make sure you're getting your pills on time. Like I'll, you know. But
So
if
like,
I'm
why
looking
would
after
we do
myself,
that?
I know exactly. But like, people tend to not do that to themselves, and I think that's it. Like that's part of being a friend to yourself and being, you know, like looking after yourself as a friend. Like even self-talk is huge. Like how I talk for myself is not how I talk to a friend, and that was a really good thing I've learned in a relationship where I was like, well, I'm so close to this person, so I'm talking to them. Like
that's gentle.
No, it wasn't gentle. I was realized, wait, I wouldn't say this to a friend. Like, why am I talking to this person in this way? Like, like you're so close. The closer you get, I don't know, you treat them more and more like yourself. And if you don't have a good relationship with yourself, that bleeds into close relationships.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the thing, right?
That's
like
so true.
you get to the innermost layer of mine, and then like,
damn.
what do you get?
It's like, what's there?
What's there?
I never used to understand when people used to say, you know, like one of the greatest forms of self-love is discipline, because for me, like I've always associated the word discipline with like something just like hustle culture, like something really hardcore.
Yeah.
But then when I've started to interpret it as like more as consistency.
Yep.
You know, like showing up for yourself.
Yep.
If you've made, you know, like a commitment to yourself to like go to the gym, for example, like
Mm.
making sure that you see that through because you're taking care of yourself like that and coming through for yourself. And I think that really ties into like being a friend to yourself as well, because
Yeah.
you're not really neglecting, you know, like your core needs, like little things that
Definitely.
get you going and enable you to show up better for yourself as well as the people around you, because like that's what your friends deserve. You
And
know?
I think like the best the best kind of little thing I use in my brain is like, would you do this to Dylan, or would you do this to a friend? For example, any self-talk I'm having, would you say this to a friend? If the answer is no, that's interesting. All right, like it doesn't mean it's
Confronting
wrong,
for sure as well.
right?
It's confronting. As
Yeah,
well.
100%, and it's interesting. The self-talk usually isn't the same. You know, my self-talk has been more brutal. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah.
And it's just learning to sort of be more gentle with yourself,
Definitely.
I guess. And also, like becoming more disciplined, and by that becoming, you know, a better friend to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like holding space for yourself.
Hey.
Because language really matters.
Yeah, I mean the longest conversation you're having is with yourself. Like you're having this conversation all the time, like all 24 hours a day. I just got shot on by a little bird.
Oh,
Is that?
oh, sure.
Oh,
It was the tiniest shit of all time. But there you go.
You must be a bit
Is
constipated.
that? I mean, dude, birds shit all the time.
Oh my gosh.
They're mental.
That's a
They're
good,
just
that's
trying
a
to
good,
pollinate.
that's
They're
a good
just trying to,
title.
you know.
The what? Birds shit all the
that's a
time.
good
Yeah, they're
title,
like
bird
dropping
shit all the
seeds so that the flowers can grow.
True.
They're actually helping, you know.
There you
You
go.
actually, you know, you just had to rub that off on another tree.
Probably. Yeah, rub that off on you, mate.
Pay it forward.
Or eat it, you know. And then you help pollinate as well.
Wow.
It's a bit gross.
The
It's
podcast.
spring.
Spring was sprung.
There you go. No, I feel like,
Yeah.
again, yeah,
Like-
but no, like another thing though, like with that self-talk, I have conversations with my friends, like even when you're not there, like I would just have it like, you know, like have a laugh where like I would see a situation where you would fucking find funny, and I'm just like laughing almost like you're there,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then that happens with people who's passed away, like, and that's another big thing, like friends. But I mean, I was telling you this the other day, like when you called me, like yesterday, I think. No, yesterday. And I was like, yeah, what if it's most likely that one of us is gonna attend the other one's funeral?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
100%. Unless we die together, like, you know. Like,
let's not do that.
No, like,
I mean, if it happens, it happens.
It
Sure.
happens, it happens, you know.
I don't know
Well,
what's written.
let's not plan this.
Yeah.
But you know, like we'll see most of our friends die probably, and that's not I don't think that's a sad thing. It's like, I mean, obviously if it's a untimely death, it's sad, but if it's, you know, it's you're not losing the friend though, you know. And I mean we've lost a friend that's common, like a shared mutual friend, and I still have conversations, like not even full conversation, but like I would just, because she was such a like funny, like you know, happy person, so like I would get into situations and I'm like, oh, like she would have fucking laughed at me for this, and that kind of makes it, I don't know, better. I'm still having that relationship although she's not present. But
it sort of transcends lifetimes, I think, as well, or like, you know, a lifetime.
yeah,
Yeah, even reality.
Yeah.
I feel like one of the most difficult things about losing a close friend
yeah.
is the fact that I think
Which you have,
friendship-
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have. Yeah, and I think friendship, the way I see it, is really like a mirror of, you know, presence. It's like people showing up for you, and when they're not there, like it's almost like there's like a blank space. Like there's elements of them.
So is
that
that
you
Taylor
can
Swift
see.
again, or?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like elements of them that you've kind of embodied and you want to like carry through like the things you do in life.
Yeah.
So that's been, I think, one of the biggest challenges that I found when like trying to navigate grief.
Yeah, that is so true. And like for me, like I pulled so much strength out of it. I mean, for very selfish reasons, like I'm halfway in an ultra marathon, and like I can put that in perspective with my friend who I've lost, and then get like infinite energy. Like I can just keep going.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like kind of channeling that grief in a
Grief is love
different way.
everlasting.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. There you go. And then like,
Facts.
yeah, I also like moving on from that. I think it's like there is this sort of firm belief that if you do believe in reincarnation and like past lives and all that, it sort of like transcends lifetimes as well. Like the previous point was like it transcends a lifetime, but it's almost like it transcends lifetimes. Like the friends you make now are like someone you've actually been friends with in a past life, really. And then I don't know if it's true or not, but like it's a bit comforting, you know. Like I don't know, maybe like
I mean, almost. I mean, it's even without that. Like it's true. Like we were both different people 10 years ago. That's almost a past life. Like
yeah, there you go.
we have been. So.
It's like that concept of yin-yang, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like there's a movie that came out recently called, well, kind of spoiling it for you, but
Wow.
it's called Past Lives, and like
Oh, I need to watch that actually.
yeah, sort of like
Yeah, just the concept that like when you meet someone or interact with them, you might have interacted with them in a past life, and it really leans into like a very common East Asian philosophy, like in Chinese and Japanese culture, that there's like a red string that ties two people together. So your connections or your meetings are essentially fated, and these don't have to be romantic; they can be platonic too. But it's like you were meant to meet each other, and like. Just like like help each other like come out and grow. I guess like leaning into like what you were saying about different layers being brought out. And I think that's really beautiful because like everything's kind of already out there. We just kind of have to live through it, you know?
Like it's almost like even like what you said to me. It's like when you meet someone new, sometimes to me it's almost like I've known them for a whole lifetime.
Yeah.
And like how does that make sense?
Yeah, exactly. And like I know them from like somewhere, or like it works so well that like it's electric. It's almost like, wow, that's someone I've spent so much time with for so long, except just met you. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that.
That's a very like, I guess it's a very wholesome thing. So
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I think it's just, well, it sounds more profound than it is, but it's just like this, the biggest journey like of life that you're going through alone. So why not just make some friends, make it easier?
Yeah. It's not really alone if you think about it, you know?
No, exactly. But I think people can make it. I think the default is it's not alone, but I think people tend to, you know, go into their shell a bit more. And
I definitely think so. Especially like here, I've been speaking to a few people about this, of, you know, like collectivism versus individualism in society. I feel like coming from Malaysia and like moving to Australia, I feel like a lot of people do tend to retreat into their shells by default and kind of think that they have to do things alone. But in reality, when you reflect on, you know, where you are, the decisions you've made, the opportunities that have come to you, it's never been like on your own. You might have had a friend encouraging you, or like a boss who believed in you and things like that. And I think really honoring the little things that have contributed to getting you to where you are.
That's just reminded me of something though, like these friendships that you don't even know exist, which are like, for example, like it could be like, I don't know, someone who's maybe a bit older, but they let something, you know, slip past. Or like I don't know, it's hard to explain, but like maybe you did something embarrassing but they didn't bring it up. Or like this like friendships that you don't even know exist, where like everyone's kind of helping you, like you don't know. Because it only stands out when they do, or like, let's say like, I don't know, you do something embarrassing and they tell everyone, or like, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I have moments of like when I realize and look back in life, oh wait, like this guy knew I did this, and he just
still backing me.
He didn't even like, he didn't say anything, like he didn't make me feel embarrassed, or he didn't belittle me, like, and this
Just
friendship in silence as well.
Yeah.
There you go. That's loud.
Yeah. Trying to find the beauty in like the unknown and
the
like,
little moments.
the little
I think
moments.
friendship definitely is made in the little moments.
Yeah,
you know?
and the unspoken. Like there are like, how many times do you look to your friend and you like share the look, and you know exactly what they're thinking of, right? So that's another thing, right? Like how does that work? Like you're reading minds. So it's all because you know each other so well that
Yeah.
you're thinking the same thing.
I mean, look,
Yeah, like
like
enough said.
exactly. I mean, look, it sounds so complicated and
No, it's- yeah.
calculated.
Yeah.
But look, in the end, like it's something we talk all the time. Just play, like you're playing. Like think of you as a kid in a playground in school.
Yeah.
You're just playing, and you're like, you just if you're playing through life, everything's so much easier. You don't need to calculate where like I need to be available now, and I'll make new friends. Or like you just don't. You just if you're playing all the time and just being a bit cheeky, it's fine. You're just making
that's
friends.
the goal in life, right? Like to play the game for as long as you can and have a good time while you're doing it.
Yeah. No, definitely. I think. I mean, we want to do a podcast about playing,
I guess
but
that's a good future episode, I guess.
yeah, we'll
Something
hint.
to touch on.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Teaser.
Teaser.
Teaser for the friends. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think
So, is that it?
I think that's it. I
Okay.
think that's it. That was a good, very healing sort of talk. I think.
Yeah.
Some good gems in there.
Very liberating. I think.
Gems, yeah. Some diamonds.
Ah,
There you go.
there you go. Wrap it up.
We're back.
We're back.
All right.
We've done it again. Wow, good stuff. Okay, well that's it. Any closing thoughts, Sherine?
Not at all. I mean, I just feel really grateful to have shared this beautiful walk with you guys, to speak very candidly and honestly about, things we've learned along the way, things we appreciate, and yeah, just excited for what's to come.
Awesome.
Too easy. All right.
Till next time.
Thank you for
thanks for
having
coming.
me.
Thanks for coming.